All right, yo, welcome in, everybody, to the Revolt Simmy's Endurance Championship Season 2. Finally getting a rerun of the RVSEC here. And I'm not going to be running solo. I'm going to be joined by the one and only Mickey. How you doing, Mickey?
Hi, hello, thanks, I'm good.
All right, now, of course, we did have the conclusion of RVSEC. I'm looking exactly at when the final results got posted. It was done, it looks like February 2024, so about 2 years ago. RVSEC came to its first conclusion where Stingox won first place with 114 points, blazing away the rest of the competition. Frostbitten getting second with 88, and G in third with 77. Of course, very honorable shout out to Nick as well as Kilabaris, who tied with 63 points there for fourth place. And of course, we were talking about this before we went live. We remember this very well. It was the first of its kind here to be using semi-pros in an event like this. And we are going to finally be doing it again here at the start of 2026. So, while we wait for everyone to join on in, I will get some shout outs to the chat. Of course, we got Da Evie. Great to have you in here. Yes, this is RVGL here. Very excited to have you with us. Of course, we've got Nick in the chat as well, host here of the RVSEC Season 2. Much love to the Shiffy. Couldn't get it done without him. And Mickey, of course, Mickey Volt in the house. We got Nick GZ78 as well. And of course, Formulator, aka Frostbitten, and Prawnfoot, aka Kiki. Giving some love to the cinematic shots. Yeah, I mean, I am loving the Revolt competitive intro. Absolutely amazing. Indebted to the community for all the art that they put forward and all the hard work that they put into making this game and this scene what it is. Okay. So we do have about 2 minutes here as Maddie's in the house as well. Yes, yes. In our lobby is already filling up. We've only got about 2 minutes until qualifiers are set to begin. We've got, of course, Nick, the host of the lobby, joined by the one and only Laggy Rock. We've got Frostbitten, myself in the spec spot. We've got Kiki, GeForce, V, Maddie07, Ganesh, Top, and Anakin as well. A lot of familiar faces. It's been great to have Top and Anakin both showing up to all these events in recent times, and they have been grinding and getting better and better. They're going to be rocking the Addion, but we do have a lot of zippers in the house as well here on White Rose Chapel. Now, I will mention, White Rose Chapel is a favorite of Frostbitten, and the Zipper is a favorite of Frostbitten as well. It does look like this is possibly Zipper favorite. I was going to try to show you all a bit of the world record currently held by Stingox on the Toyeka, and hopefully I will be able to show you all that footage, but time did get a little bit away from us here. We are about to head into the first race, the qualifier, but actually wait, there probably won't necessarily be a qualifier because we're not at 16 people. We're not over 16, so it should be fine. All right. Looking here at our RVSEC 2 info. So since we're not having qualifiers, I'm not sure if we'll head straight into the race here or if we're going to have 10 more minutes of pre-show. We'll find out in a moment. Oh, that's right. We do have the I'm assuming the grid. It's been a minute, y'all, since we have done some endurance. Oh my goodness. It has seriously been a minute. It's starting to hit me. I'm assuming we're doing starting grid here. But we will find out shortly. We've got Kilobars. We've got Famous as well. We've got Top in the house. We got Daevi asking, is it original Revo cars only? So, with our endurance events, we typically are going to be using the stock cars. That's what a lot of the community in the competitive scene is kind of skewed towards the purest vibe of just using stock cars, not necessarily stock tracks, but that is the vibe here for the RV SEC. It's basically Zipper or Addion are your two options. Addion is loved in the community in general as just an all-around pick. It's really strong, it stays on the road really well, and it has a lot of the kind of technical issues so that Zipper has, the Addion does not have. Whereas the Zipper is going to have a slight advantage in top speed, but it does have, you know, some landing issues and stuff like that. Do you have a preference, Mickey, between the Zipper or the Addion for yourself personally?
To be honest, I always used Addion. It was easier for me.
Yeah.
But last time I tried Zipper, and I think it's better. I really think it's better in most of the cases. But now I think, okay, it's okay. Never mind. It's qualifiers.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, I need to show you my screen.
No worries. The qualifier gives us time to get that set up. Right now, racers are racing for their best lap. And the grid, the starting grid of our endurance race will basically be set up in accordance with their placements in this qualifier sequence. So we are going to go ahead and I'm going to get the picture-in-picture set up for us now. I will also try to get some of the other stuff that you all know and love for those of you who have been around. Maybe try to get our standings working. Okay, now the standings are going to be irrelevant here during the qualifier, but that is going to be a way for you to check the overall position of the drivers while we race once this race gets started off. Okay. So, one thing that you can use is the best lap infographic there on the left-hand side because the grid is based off of best lap. So right now we can see that Laggy Rock is actually in the front with best lap, which is a rarity because he is not really typically going to be the guy going for those best laps. The current best lap holder is Stingox, but that is with the Toyota. We'll see. I think he is using the Zipper.
Stingox using Addion.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah. Most of the players using Zipper here. Looking at the best laps, and I think, yeah, with Makakowski.
Ooh, the Makakowski moment here.
51.490.
Looks...
Frostbitten.
Yes.
With him.
We will go ahead and show a lap from Makakowski here. There's a couple very important parts of this track. This U-turn being one of them, trying to get a lot of trying to hit the apex on the turn there, and then we continue on through here. The biggest sequence, in my opinion, is right here. This right turn into big left U-turn kind of deal into the big right turn, and it doesn't really end there. You do get this moment of chill, but then you go straight into the grass with this sequence here, chicane, and you can buy a ton of time by executing
the
properly.
Grass parts are tough here on this track. I can agree. Stingox is doing the best, I think. The one player who got under 51.
And that should be no surprise. He holds the record on the Toyota, the world record. Unfortunately, G-Force wrecking out on lap 4. He's going to have a couple more shots at it. He's currently sitting with the third best lap. Ooh, that's actually a very important question from Keela Barris asking which track version is used. The new one with grass zones fixed. Now, that is something that I'm not entirely sure of. I did notice that while I was watching Sting's world record, but I don't know how recent of a change this is.
I think the newest.
That's probably a question that can be answered once we have a moment. But let's go ahead and look at one of our challengers, Frostbitten. He's currently second best lap. He's trying to finish up his lap 5 right now.
Currently we use only Zipper and Aideon here, with some players have their own skins, so GeForce using Zipper here today. Most of the players are using Zipper today. There are some personal skins for the, I think Anakin has his own skin.
Yep, you were allowed to submit personal skins for the RVSCC, and a couple from Season 1 are being used as well here, so you may notice some custom skins that don't come with the game. We are watching Frostbitten finish up lap 6 of 7. I want to go ahead and watch Stingox for the final lap, but as you can see, Frostbitten doing great through that tight area into the U-turn. He's going to be trying to finish up. Can he get a sub 51? It's looking possible. It is going to happen. 59.74 for Frostbitten. Doesn't quite get him first place, though. That is going to be Sting. He is finishing up his final lap. Using the Adion. Most drivers are using the Zipper here. He opted for the Adion.
So yeah, we have 2 players now who are under 51. Frost and Stingox. Stingox on the first place.
GeForce also head and shoulders over the rest of the competition. So close to the sub 51. A whole 0.7 seconds over the rest. We do have our players starting to finish up. Huge South American representation. Shout out to RVA, as always. Sting failing that one of those final sequences, one of the areas where in his world record he actually got the most time back in order to get the world record. There was all due to that area, and ironically that is where he crashes out here on his final lap. 50.887. I don't foresee anybody beating that. We've got Nick finishing up. Going to be trying to get... He does get an improvement, about 50 milliseconds there over his previous best. Makakasi finishing up. He gets an improvement as well. Also going to be about 50 milliseconds faster. And as we see the best laps as they stand, it's going to be Stingox first, Frostbitten second, GeForce third, Kiki fourth, Laggy Rock fifth, and Makakasi sixth.
Okay, so we're doing a quick lobby reset.
Yes, and while they go ahead and get the grid sorted out.
Okay, lobby sub back. You can join.
Okay. And we are now going to be heading into 69 laps of White Rose Chapel. Non-stop. Lap after lap. You mess up, doesn't matter, gotta keep going. You mess up again, doesn't matter, gotta recover. A battle of tenacity.
And we go like this for around 1 hour.
Exactly. Kiki saying he hasn't touched the game in over a month. Very happy with the qualifiers. Yeah, definitely. Can't be too upset with that. Was quite a bit behind GeForce there, about 0.7 seconds, but still 4th place on the grid. Going to be a nice little advantage there in the starting position. We've got Breathing Statue in the house, placing a curse on top. Incredible. We got top in the house as well. We got Skandar. We got Nagashi as well. Welcome in. We got Final Boss 444 as well as, of course, Cutlay 1653 as well. Great to have y'all in here. We are going to be kicking off the first round of the Revolt Semis Endurance Championship Season 2 in just a moment.
So Topkes here, I think he skipped qualifiers. So he's starting last, or I missed him.
We've got Ganesh.
Qualifier.
Welcome to Ganesh. Great to have you in here. Great to have you in the race as well. G-Force, much love, much love. Hope you're doing excellently. Makakowski, Bantio. It's done. Much love to Rainbow Shadows. Okay, so we do have our BRBs 1 minute, and then we are going to be headed into it. I suppose we do have time for our predictions really quick. We can try it. I don't know if we have time. Might be a little.
Okay, you go with predictions.
It might be a little bit late. I don't know. Let's try to make it happen. Still waiting for people to get back. I do see, I'm going to pull up, we've got our previous RVSCC. First place was Stingux, second place was Frostbitten, third place was G. So I'll do a little prediction. We're going to do the 4 options will be Stingox, Frostbitten, G-Force, or someone else. Those will be the options. We'll just have it up for 2 minutes. And again, I chose those 3 drivers because they were the podium finishers in the previous RVSEC. Speaking of accolades, while we do wait for Laggy Rock to get back in here, we make sure you stay around once the race is done because you will be able to vote on who you thought was Driver of the Day. DOTD is something that will be returning here at the RVSEC. Chatters are allowed to participate. Racers are as well, and you'll be choosing who you felt was the stand-up performer of the day. It doesn't necessarily have to be who came in first. Obviously, it could be. Top saying if Frost gets in front, he wins. If I remember correctly, he's going to be starting out there in the front. Could be an ominous prediction here from Top.
I think Frost second.
Okay.
Okay, Nikon saying we're starting soon. So 13 players we have today.
Okay.
It's a lot for an endurance. But there will be some really good fights today.
Oh, that is a guarantee. That is a guarantee. We do have Nick starting to set everything up here before we begin our 69 laps of White Rose Chapel. This is kind of, historically, this has been Frostbitten's track. This is kind of part of the lore, if you're unfamiliar with it. The interesting part is that this esports crowd is pretty unique here at Revolt because y'all actually know most of the lore already. There's, in a lot of esports, people are pretty clueless about most of the esport, but in Revolt, everybody kind of is very knowledgeable about these pieces of lore. But yeah, this was White Rose Chapel was like Frostbitten's spot. It has been the site of much energy, much excitement, and it's been a decider. So it's going to be kicking off RVSCC here. We've got Stingox, winner overall of the previous RVSCC. Can he dethrone Frostbitten? He's currently sitting with the world record, or it could be someone else entirely as well. One thing is for sure, we're getting into it right now, and we will crown a victor here after 69 laps, waiting for them to set up.
We have placements, and they are setting up the line. I don't know. Stingox, Frostbitten, GeForce, Kiki, Lagerrock, Makakowski, V, Ganesh, Nikorn, BGM, Maty, Anakin, and Topke. They are all our players in line.
Am I going to be the one calling it, is the question. We didn't talk about that. It is... Start! Oh, it's up to Sting to begin it. There we go. We've got Mickey watching from the back as I watch from the front here. Sting and Frost obviously going to be getting straight into it. But look, they already have a very sizable advantage over the rest of the field. So that Adion not going to be having too much trouble defending here at the start. But of course, Frost is going to be the most important of the bunch here early on. Look at Sting breaking away though in that beautiful turn with the Adion through the grass. How is the follow-up going to be? Of course, this area pretty straightforward, but it goes straight into a very complex, very important area of the track right here. Look at how quick Stingox rips through it, and Frost is barely even able to keep his vision on Sting through it. Sting is going to have a about a 10-meter lead after the first lap, as Frost does even lose a little bit of traction in the grass. GeForce is going to be sitting in third, Lagerrock fourth, Makakowski fifth, Kiki sixth. Makakowski trying to get the inside here on Lagerrock, not really going to find anything there. The two cars pushing into each other for a bit, but really going to be looking straight back at Sting and Frost as they do head back through the grass, through this complex area once more. This is, I'm sure, a fight that we're going to continue to be checking out for a majority of the race. Look at the turns. Really solid from both players, staying at around 10 meters, although it does look like Frost is actually doing a smidge better, down to 6 meters, 5 meters. Look at the speed advantage here for the Zipper. 4, 3, 2, U-turn. Things are getting dangerous for Sting. Can he get around through this area, though? Sting blocking out for the moment. And we head straight back to it. 10 meters. Sting continuing to defend quite eloquently. I am going to go ahead and look backfield for a moment. G-Force kind of on an island of his own here in third place. Kiki holding strong in fourth, about 35 meters behind G-Force. V right behind Kiki. Laggy Rock as well. Makakowski as well. Check out this U-turn here from them. Makakowski going to be getting a little bit close to Laggy Rock's bumper, but no mayhem going to unleash there. And we head back. Look at Frost slamming into Sting on the turn, and he is going to be able to hold on to it, but Sting takes it right back through the U-turn. We got another one coming up. Sting is trying to block, trying to defend Frost into a 360, recovers from it. And right back to business as usual for these two drivers. Maybe slight advantage for Sting. G-Force capitalizing on that greatly as this island turns more into a peninsula.
And looking back, on 8th place we have Nikorn, then with some small gap BGM, Ganesh, Topka, Mati and Anakin, last place. But they're doing great, there's no one sticking out.
Looking back forward towards Sting and Frost. Frost, yeah, losing a little bit of speed through that area. Nothing too tragic. Going to continue to be pretty chill. G-Force, same situation here. Makakowski in 5th, V in 6th.
Anakin crashed twice here. Not good for him.
Close battle between Laggy Rock and Nick. Interested to see how this U-turn turns out. Look at how fiercely Nick is trying to block Laggy Rock's zipper, and he does keep his bumper ahead of Laggy Rock as they go for the U-turn.
And on the back, situation isn't looking good for Anakin. 20 meters is last, but BGM crashed, didn't he?
Ooh. Really?
Okay, Anakin's back on track.
Good.
Everyone doing good here.
Anakin has been a fierce competitor here, especially during the quick draw tournament. He was a problem, also a problem for Frostbitten, getting too wide into the U-turn. He bounces off the wall. He is able to pretty much full recover, and in fact, if he wasn't able to full recover, G-Force would have been sliding into second there. And now it's a battle for Frost and G-Force as G-Force continues to get closer onto the rear end of Frostbitten. A shining moment for our Brazilian here. He's been on the grind for this. Chilling out. Been holding on to third the whole time. Keeping it close. Waiting for a mistake. Frostbitten has managed to get away from the jaws of G-Force, but certainly not secure. Kilobar is calling the GG. Early on. Lap 8 of 69. Is it possible to rewind? You can press the clip button. Watch that back. It shows you back the past minute or so. Maybe 2 minutes. You don't have to publish.
And I would like to take a look at Nikorn,
Yes.
our host of the tournament, who's doing better. He was 8th, now he's 6th, and he's chasing Makakowski.
Moving
Back on track.
on up. Yes, Makakowski has been a problem lately in the Revolt scene. V, Laggy Rock, I see them keeping it close as well.
While Mate and Anakin are fighting for the second last place.
Anakin, fierce competitor. Frostbitten again, wrecking through the chicane sort of area, the chicane walls. And now GeForce is quite closer, but even more importantly is that Sting is 30 meters in the lead. Frostbitten's got to recover here. It's been looking a little bit disgruntled over the past couple of turns between the wreck and the U-turn at this sequence. And now another one through that chicane wall. Can he... I mean, he's holding his own against GeForce still. Unless... Really, really solid driving from GeForce, keeping Frostbitten honest. Ooh, the tight turn straight into it. Wow, okay. But wait, Sting is he's right back to square one. All of that 30 to 35 meters evaporated in front of our eyes. Don't know where he wrecked up, or where he messed up, where he wrecked up. I like that phrase. But one thing is for sure, he was playing it a little bit too close to the sun. He does wreck out, maybe through that chicane area. Our top three, our podium, is neck and neck. The closest three drivers in the race right now is first, second, and third. Always a treat when the situation is like that. So often tends to be huge gaps between these front drivers, right? Especially in an endurance setting. But right now, continue on neck and neck.
I can see they're so close. First, second, third. These are same placements as qualifiers.
Ooh, these are the same placements as RVSEC 1. The final placements.
Ah, yeah, really.
I mean, this is first, second, and third. Right here from RVSEC Season 1, it shows you 2 years back.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Will one of these players be able to write the annals of history here? Try to change their position, get a small promotion, but you know, it may just be one or two positions, but those 1 or 2 positions matter so much more when you're right there at the top, not just to make a statement, but also points-wise, using the MotoGP point scoring system here. Huge point gaps between these 3 positions. GeForce could get a massive point upgrade bypassing these 2 heads up. Here it is. Very clean. Stingux keeps the status quo. In the meantime, anything happening backfield here? I see some single digits. Definitely. Looks like Anakin, Ganesh, and Maddie.
Nikurn's doing better, 4th place.
Wow.
He's chasing our top 3, but it's over 100 meters. I think
yes.
It's impossible here.
Yeah, 100 meters.
Main opponent here is Kiki, so Kiki versus Nikurn here.
Right.
Kiki with Zipper, Nikurn with Ideon. And Nikurn crashed. Unfortunately, Lagerok is here to chase Nikurn.
Yeah.
And Makakowski. Makakowski took his 6th place. Now Nikurn is back on 7th, while he was on 4th before.
It's a heartbreaker when that happens, and it just goes to show these 3 players make it look easy to be consistent. It is not easy at all to be this consistent of a driver. You can see further backfield, those positions change around a lot more because the wrecks and the mental damage, the mental fatigue does affect those players a lot more. Nick has been showing up so much for all these championships, all the cups, but it can happen to the best in the business. As we begin lap 16 of 69 for our podium drivers, it continues to be Sting, Frost, G-Force, but it looks like Frost and G-Force have really done a great job of pulling up to Sting, and Sting is really just one wrong move away from getting gobbled up. We'll still be holding podium, yes, but like we said, points, definitely want that first. As we look at the best lap times, it's actually Frostbitten with the best lap, G-Force with the second best lap, and Stingox with the third best lap. So if pace is any indicator here, Stingox is not in the clear yet.
And we have our first lapping. Topka with BGM next to each other, but on the other laps. These are some problems.
Exactly, they're kind of a natural hazard, a moving hazard throughout the track. It's something that we haven't really touched on. We have a lot of new chatters, new faces in the stream, and yeah, you're going to start to see lapping happening. And sometimes if those drivers who are in the back, maybe they're too focused on their own race or something like that, they definitely can impact the race of our front three. So really the utmost of care is necessary here for our drivers who are getting lapped to stay out of the line of our front three.
Yeah, I know something about this. I was banned once.
Oh.
For not yeah.
I've been there.
Not getting out of road. Yeah, sorry again.
It happens. It happens because a lot of the times you're dueling with somebody else in that position. You're trying to get your own situation sorted out. So you're not always paying attention to people lapping you, but it can happen. They do use liberal use of the horn, which does help it out with the honk honk. G-Force, so in the meantime, falling a bit of a ways back behind our front two, Sting and Frost. Nothing too... Oh, as Frost wrecks out through that area. It's been tough going for him. This is at least his second time that he's kind of had a pretty decent exposure there on that area. Stingox is going to be capitalizing on that. Only about 20 meters in the lead, which can evaporate, of course.
Okay, so now we're having really large gaps on the back. Before Maty and Makakowski are 400 meters. What happened here?
Ooh.
He left? Disconnected? What?
Maybe a radar situation with some lag or something like that.
Yeah, that's frustrating. So sometimes.
As we make it through another one of those chicane areas, about to head into lap 20, we do have a question from the chat. How different are the top three cars from a stat standpoint? Actually, G-Force and Frostbitten are using the same vehicle, just a different skin. But as far as the Addion and the Addion and the Zipper, I'm sure people could give you an exact answer. I do believe the Zipper has a higher top speed. It might be acceleration too. But Addion is just kind of a smoother drive. And again, if we do have players from the chat, or Mickey, if you want to clarify Addion versus Zipper in the details a little bit more, feel free.
Yes, I actually can check that, really. I think Addion is better in steering.
Yes. G-Force continues to be right up on Frostbitten, but they are continuing to get a little bit of ground back from Stingox as they go from 20 meters down to about 17. And I would love to show y'all more of the field. That's why it's great to have Mickey here, is that Mickey can show y'all more of the field as well. But as far as the main camera, it's tough to look away from such an intense podium battle like this. So I do hope y'all forgive me for keeping these three on the main screen, but this is really the main course here this evening. Such a treat here to have these three drivers in this situation. And this is something that may happen in the future as well, because these drivers are just really incredibly fearsome at the RVSEC. As simple as that.
You asked for the details.
Yes.
So Adion has worse top speed than Zipper.
Yes.
Adion has 59.1 kilometer per hour, while Zipper has 60.7 kilometer per hour. But acceleration is actually better in at Adion.
Oh.
It's 2.97 meters per second square, while Zipper has 2.82.
Okay.
And Adion is little lighter. And personally, I think Adion is better in steering. It's harder to drive Zipper. It's just personal. So it depends from who you are. It depends on the track.
Yes, that's a very important point. We do have some Zipper acolytes, some Zipper specialists like Frostbitten. He is loyal to the Zipper, some would say even to a fault at times, as G does wreck out through one of these turns. He did such an incredible job of keeping it slow close to Frostbitten, but one single turn he even ends up doing a full 360 and recovering, but he's still quite a ways back, as you can see, trying to get through the chicane. He does eventually make it through 15 meters back, 20 meters back on Frost, and Frost is still about 17 behind Sting. So things do settle out for just a moment here in the front three. Yes. So as you heard, it really does come down to preference. It also comes down to the track is also a very important thing. We have a pretty stable, straightforward track here, and so a lot more people pick Zipper. But if we had a ton of jumps and things like that, specifically jumps, a lot of players would be wanting to switch over to the Adion. We would see a lot more Adion drivers.
Last time it was Venice, last season, the track Venice. Everyone, I think, except Frostbitten chose Adion there. Frostbitten is really loyal to Zipper.
Yes, I respect that. Okay. As the race continues on, I do see a couple players with the single-digit distance between each other. I think Laggy Rock and Makakowski are two of those. We've also got Nick and V seem to be quite close to each other. Also, BGM, Anakin, and Top seem to be battling for 9th place. As right now on the picture-in-picture, we've got Nick versus V as they head into that U-turn through the Cathedral. Okay, and in the meantime, on the main picture, we've got Sting versus Frost, and of course G in the back in this first, second, third battle continuing on. Frostbitten, you will notice he has still continued to make dividends back, and he is now in the single digits versus Sting, wavering between 9 and 10 meters behind Stingox, where he was previously about 17 to 20 meters back, a couple laps back. So the question is, is Sting going to have another one of these wrecks, or is he going to be able to continue capitalizing and continue making ground against Stingox? Big moment. Frostbitten looking a lot faster into the initial turns, but sliding a bit. Kind of a moot point. Big early turn through the grass. Stingox looked like he was set up a bit better, and as things do shake out, you see he got a couple meters advantage through that area. This was something amazing that I watched on Stingox, who currently has the world record on Toyeka. When he was racing against his Ghost, he was actually behind his Ghost on his world record time for a majority of the race. It was really just that final chicane area where he blasted through and made up a couple meters. And that it really kind of has been his go-to move through here. He seems to have that area really figured out. This area as well as he continues to blast through. Frostbitten, though, doing an amazing job of keeping him honest. Here we go. We are approaching the halfway point of our race. Not quite there. We actually do have an incredible blend of new and old drivers. Of course, through a cutthroat of a championship, as an endurance, as unforgiving as an endurance event, it is going to attract a lot of the veterans. But we do have some players who haven't been racing for very long at all, and they actually are doing pretty well for themselves here. They are struggling to get into the single digits as far as positions, but they're doing quite well for themselves all the same.
Yeah, Kiki said he didn't launch Revolt for 1 year.
And he is just killing it.
9th place out of 13. Really good for this break.
Look at Frost really getting up close and personal to Sting at this time. Going to go on the inside for the turn. Sting manages to hold on to first place. I love the attempt on the warfare from Frost. He's going to go for the inside once more. Sting slows it down. Almost runs into the lamppost. Don't worry, that was just a little bit of lag from NA to EU. No issue there. And Frostbitten is holding on to first place. Sting going to try to go inside, continuing to try to bump Frostbitten out of the way as they do drift around. G-Force not an issue too much, but this is helping G-Force quite a bit as Sting continues to block. Slow turn through there. Sting gives him a bump on the bumper, actually, and gets right back around him. Sting is going to be taking back first place, but again, Zipper has those params advantage. Frostbitten going way out on the outside, swooping right through him into the massive U-turn. Stingox takes it right back. An incredible showing between these two drivers. Neither of them willing to give up an inch. Right when you think that one has taken it, another swoops in, takes it right back here through another very important area. On the inside is Frost, but it layers up Sting into the turn quite well. Turn through the grass. Frost holding on. Sting with the bump into the wall. Bounces off of it. G-Force even taking second place as Sting falls way down off the cliffside into third place. 6 meters behind G-Force. G-Force 15 meters behind Frost. And this is dangerous territory here for our drivers as Frostbitten has the zipper. He has the love for White Rose Chapel. And he's going to be doing what he can, but he now bumps inside the chapel. His religion, the WRC, the House of WRC, betraying him as G-Force takes it right over. Is he going to be able to keep it locked down is the question that we'll have to see. But for the meantime, he does move on in to first place. Big moment. G-Force needs to test his mettle. Oh, the big bump from Sting, pushing him right out of the way as Sting sandwiches himself in between our two zippers. Snagging second place right back, but as we've seen, Stingox, the Addion, it does succeed, excels through that area, but Zipper is able to challenge it right again, and it does force Stingox into defensive position. Sting is crowded out. Frostbitten going to solidify second place. 140 meter advantage over fourth place right now for these podium drivers. They have lock and key guaranteed themselves a spot in the podium. The question is, what will the order be? First place, 25 points. Second place, 20 points. Sting gives himself a 4-point promotion with that one move. because third place is 16 points. That is how the MotoGP system works. Frostbitten trying to take back the second. And he will, on the outside at that. Some bumpiness. Some bumps and bruises for sure. Quick shout out as well. We've got Kiki and Makakowski in the 4th-5th battle. They're trying to duke it out as well. If this battle for podium ever gets broken up, if we ever see a lull in the action up here, we will be able to shine a spotlight on battles like that better. In the meantime, of course, we got Mickey handling it. Sting with the overtake on Frost through the U-turn, but can he hold it through here? Yes, he can for now. Sting's specialty right through that area. Of course, how ironic that it is the place where he wrecked the biggest, the most spectacular of his wrecks. Moving into lap 34, and now we are about halfway through. Frost trying to go on the inside, almost has some issues. Even a jump as small as that can pose an issue to a zipper for every now and again. Frost trying on the inside. Sting has to be so vigilant with his blocking every single time, and he's still managing to do it. In the meantime, G-Force is just racking it up to 40 meters. He doesn't have anyone blocking, and exactly, Keelabaris puts it perfectly. They lose too much time fighting, as Stingox has to use desperate tactics to block Frostbitten back. They are both a mutual assured destruction here as far as acquiring first place back, unless G-Force were to gift it over to them with a wreck. Of course, always an option. Something that can always happen. Much less likely the higher you go up on the leaderboard.
And now looking at your screen, I see my radar is broken, unfortunately.
I'm sorry?
I see Lagerrock on 4th place,
okay.
But I see 6 on your...
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'm having some troubles.
That's okay.
Unfixable.
Yes, we do have a bit of a radar bug, so if you do look in the picture-in-picture, ignore the position there. Make sure you're looking at the infographic on the left-hand side of the main screen to get your information on the positions. But we continue locked in here, second and third, for Sting and Frost. Oh, Sting wrecks through it again as Frost overtakes in a flash. But somehow, Sting recovers. I can't believe that he didn't have to even possibly repo from that. It looked like he was able to not even have to flip his car. He just had a quick recovery, but still 20 meters lost. And now he's not able to block any longer. So, you know, this is a huge moment for Frost. Will he wreck in the chapel again, is the question. Frost has got a lot of work left to do. G-Force skating around 40 meters in the lead as we move the camera over to him for a moment. But actually, I'm going to take this moment to kind of spotlight some of our other drivers. Since it's been a long time of having them on the main screen, we now look over 5th, 6th place is a battle that is definitely unfolding here. Kiki on a skinned up zipper versus Laggy Rock.
Yeah, I'm looking at this battle for a while now.
Yes.
And yeah, it's really interesting. They're chasing one another.
Whoa.
Oh, Lagerrock.
There it is.
Here.
Kiki able to set in 5th place. As we do kind of check back in on our second, third drivers. Sting continues to be about 20 meters behind Frost. And this is the lull in the action I talked about, as we see all of our drivers are double digits, but still our closest race continues to be actually our podium race. It's really a rare sight to see. Usually those drivers are putting big gaps between each other, but this Stingox Frostbitten continues in a headlock. In fact, G-Force is not even really that secure out in first place. Frostbitten looks like he's been making incremental advantages towards G-Force's position. What was once closer to 40 meters is now closer to 30. Of course, it's going to slow down through this area because it's much more technical. So it's going to look like he's even getting closer to G-Force, but it will widen back out. I gotta say, it still looks like Sting is the cleanest through that area. G-Force looked like he was going pretty slow through it. Frostbitten is going to be trying to make up grounds through areas like that. But I will say, the one thing that G-Force has absolutely had in spades has been consistency. The man has definitely wrecked the fewest out of Frostbitten and G-Force, and that's really the reason why he's sitting here in first place right now as he gets around Ganesh, continues to get around some lap traffic, and leaves Ganesh for Frostbitten and Stingox to now have to deal with. Ganesh does go around the outside, lets them both by. Thank you very much, Ganesh. Love to see the respect being shown. And we do have some more races heating back up. It looks like Kiki and Laggy Rock again are right back in the thick of it. Makakowski is not that far away either. Kiki wrecks and Laggy Rock overtakes. Headed back to our third place position. It does look like we have a battle between Maddie and Top as well, there for 11th and 12th. Tuning into that for a moment here, as we do see them neck and neck, just starting off on lap 41. We'll watch them go through the chapel. Top pretty smooth through there, but he does just tip the corner, and they are going to be in danger of being lapped here shortly, so gonna have to show a little bit of caution. G-Force out here in first place, going to be trying to lap them up as there's a wreck, and Top manages to get around Maddie, but Maddie's got to be careful not to be a stage hazard here for them. Top continued to keep it close and personal here against G-Force. As we go back to third place through these corridors, is anybody going to wreck out? Stingox not going to be able to pass up anybody. Keeps it in those single digits versus Frostbitten. And yeah, we are starting to run out of laps here. We've got about 25 laps left, and this race is done. We actually saw how quickly 25 laps unfolded as Frost wrecks on the fence out in the middle of nowhere, trying to cut corners the best he can to get the advantage back onto Frost, and he really pushes the envelope until the envelope folds, and he does have to, reap the consequences of that as he is 30 meters behind Frost. It's not the final nail in the coffin necessarily, but you do hate to be wrecking in a situation like that. And it's definitely going to take some mental fortitude to shake it off and continue trying to capture Frostbitten and perhaps G-Force as well. Famous pointing out that Sting did manage to get the first sub 51 lap of the race. Massive shout out for catching that. G-Force with the 51.014. Frostbitten with the 51.017, and Sting almost all the way into 50.8 territory. Third place, though. Some unfortunate wrecks. Please do give me just a moment. I do apologize. We're going to hop back into this here. Okay. Frostbitten going to be able to get around top there. That was lap traffic. But actually, we've still got a close race between them. Top and Maddie have been duking it out. And this is an interesting position because they are caught up in the podium racers who are trying to get around them. But also the podium drivers are wrecking here and there. Like right now, we see Stingox has not managed to get around these drivers yet. And so they're fighting within themselves, Top and Maddie are, for 11th place. And they're also trying to stay out of the way. Top does tip the corner there. Maddie overtakes into 11th. Stingox does start to manage to overtake. We've actually got Ganesh quite close too. He's going to be fighting for 12th and 11th place as well, as likely will happen. You know, some accidents here, accidents there, but we flip forward back to the main course here of our evening. RVSEC Season 2, Race 1 here at White Rose Chapel. G-Force Frostbitten Sting continues. Frost not only wrecking, but also letting lap traffic around and also losing a ton of momentum. So he just basically has to go to 0 km per hour and go all the way back up. He's not able to do like a 360 wreck or anything like that. And that gives Sting a ton of ground to be getting back into this. This is a huge problem for Frostbitten here.
And by the way, we have our first under 51.
Yes.
By Stingox, and only Stingox. When did it happen? I don't remember seeing this.
Actually, Famous did point it out in the chat just a couple laps ago. So this is very recent.
Okay, yeah.
Very recent situation. But I will say, I mean, look at G-Force here. He has such a lead. Famous asking, can G-Force keep the car on the road? Absolutely. That is really the question on everyone's mind right now.
But I'm looking at this best laps, and G-Force and Frostbitten are so close to each other. It's like 3 milliseconds. And yeah, to Stingox is a bigger gap, but it's so close here.
It's so amazing, these drivers, you know, life happens, all these different things happen. We take it back to 2020 even. All these drivers, you know, kind of in the same spot, still neck and neck with each other. And it's amazing, all these years pass and still they are just going toe to toe.
Podium's the same.
Little bit of chaos happening further backfield. Maddie, Ganesh, and Top still in the thick of it here. Watching them here for a moment.
Rather broke for me for everyone except top 3.
Oh no.
Yeah, I see only G-Force, Frostbitten, and Stingox, and 400 meters gap.
Okay, well you could tune into that top 3 there for a moment. I'll go ahead and give some coverage backfield while we do have a bit of a lull for a moment in those top 3. Ganesh, Top, and Maddie continuing to duke it out. Edkin doing really well for himself, out in 10th place. He's not worried about these 3 drivers, but they're certainly worried about each other. Maddie and Top have been duking out the entire time, just throwing bows every single lap, dipping into each other. You know, tipping something, being brought back in. Look at that. Just like that, they have been in each other's business. That time, Top getting the short end of the stick. He is, of course, likely going to be able to recover and get right back down to business here. Ganesh whipping around the track as well. So he does manage to recover from a moment of instability, and he does keep it stepping. We've had Evie tuning in. Absolutely. I'm right there with you, Evie. There was actually a Super Pro Endurance Championship at one point as well, and I loved that competition. I was using the Quicksilver, I was using the Scarlet, I was using all different kinds of crazy cars. But those racers at the top do tend to really like the stock cars. So kind of pros, semi-pros has been the way to go as of lately. Now, as we focus our attention back towards our top three, we do have still G-Force, Frostbitten, and Sting. But Frostbitten at this point 50 meters behind G-Force, and they've only got about 18 laps left. So it is going to take a wreck from G. Yeah. And it also, in the meantime, Frostbitten and Sting are not that far away from each other. So they, the likelihood of one of them wrecking out, they have been less consistent than G-Force. Consistency has been key for G-Force, and it often is the case in endurance races. Having the consistency over everything. That's what allows Laggy Rock, even though he's not really a best lap oriented driver, he is very consistent and he's able to work that to his advantage. So that is key here with endurance races.
And we have our second under 51 by Frostbitten.
Okay.
So yeah, now there's two.
So actually our first place driver is the only one out of the three to not break through that threshold. Again, highlighting the importance of being able to do a really good lap every lap versus, having the peaks and the valleys. Heading back through this tricky area, Sting, it's, obviously the zipper seems to be advantaged through these straightaways. And that really, when Sting was in the lead, the story of the race was Sting blocking Frost during those straightaways. But this hasn't been the case once Frost got around Sting. And yet, Sting keeps managing to find ways, especially through the technical areas, to keep Frostbitten on his toes and to keep it where he can challenge Frostbitten, even if Frost just has a minor accident. Axel Freaks with the subscription. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Glad you're enjoying. Much love to ya. You're tuned into the RVSEC Season 2. It is coming to a close here. Still got that action between our back drivers, and I want to show that to y'all. But, how can you pass up on the Frost and the Sting going head-to-head? We do have that backfield battle going on in the picture-in-picture. Top, Maddie, and Ganesh continue to duke it out.
Yes, looking back at Topke and Mati, they're battling over in 11th place here, both with Adians. Similar skill level, they're also really consistent here.
Great to have you in here, Axel. Headed into the turn. And again, the meters dip down into those single digits. Sting is really, really keeping the pace with Frost. But is it enough? This has really been the area that has been blunderous for both of them. Sting tries to get that world record pace with this Adion, and sometimes it does have blowback.
Hello, Powerade. Good to see you here.
Oh, much love to the power. Great to have you in here, as always. You turn through the chapel. Then Frost gets the advantage through the straightaway. Meters start to tick up. And then it goes straight back down through the technical area. And look at G-Force, just poised on his throne. But you know what happens? You know what happens when your name isn't famous. Really, it was famous back in the day. I feel like it was Famous or Frostbitten. It was like if it wasn't one of them in the lead, you didn't know what was going to happen with the lead. Because players tend to get a little bit excited once they start recognizing how close they are to finishing this endurance, over an hour race. Right now we're in 48 minutes of racing. Just one race continuously, and they start to get so close to the finish line, and yet they fall short with some kind of catastrophic wreck, because 50 meters sounds like so much on paper, and it is, as long as you don't wreck. But if you do wreck, and it is catastrophic, these players can jump straight back into it. Sting could go back from third.
Nothing.
Yes, yeah. He could jump straight back into it in a moment's notice. Powery asking who is the guest commentator? The one and only Mickey, of course. Great to have him on the mic here with me today. On the picture-in-picture as well.
Yeah, it's me.
About 12 laps left as we continue forward.
I've been commentating last tournament, the last BattleTech tournament
Yes!
a month ago. You may know me from there, but it's not that. This wasn't that popular. BattleTech endurance.
I loved it. I love the battle tag. We need another. I don't care how many people show up. The battle tag commentary was so fun. Look at Sting! Oh my god, he just whipped it through. It was like his core was magnetically powered there. Just blasting through as close as possible, not only to the wall, but preserving his speed through it all too, and he blasts out. And he's got single digits here versus Frost. Of course, Frost gets the distance back through the straightaways, but this is kind of dangerous territory here for Frost. Now, one thing I do think that we could do, while we have a moment where the closest race is between second and third, you could go ahead and put the picture-in-picture on Frostbitten, and we could get kind of a head-to-head camera of the two.
Frostbite, okay.
Sting gets the tap on the butt of Frostbitten, and he comes back for seconds as he body slams Frost over to the side. Sting takes second place back. Frost is trying to steal it. He's in the straightaway with the zipper speed. They go to lap 59 out of 69. Can Sting hold on to it? The defensive has been so good for Sting, but he lets him right by. It's the U-turn. Oh my god, it's so tight for Sting.
Sting to beat the U-turn.
Oh, trouble brewing here, potentially for both of our drivers. Sting back to situation as normal as he blocks out Frost through the straightaways, making sure that, yes, they both slow down, but it makes it so that Frost can't get around Stingux. He can't use Zipper's strong suit to its advantage, and Sting just gets upside here through this chicane area, through the complex area. He does have a pretty slow area through there, but Frost is still struggling to make the difference back. And again, this shift is worth 4 points on both sides. Huge points available here for the victor. In this position, this situation, the second place victor.
And 9 laps left.
Look at Frost's breakaway. Sting is going to be doing his best on the inside. Oh my god, but can he hold on through the U-turn?
What is going on here?
Wow, look at them. Addion versus Zipper, Stingox versus Frost. Continues through here. This should be the area that Sting breaks away during. And he does get quite the dividend there.
Yes, this is real Addion versus Zipper tournament.
This is what it boils down to. This is a picturesque example of the battle between these two different types of cars. Frost is going to be able to lock it down. Sting is not going to be able to defend through that area, and Frost does break away, uses the advantage in speed. And now he is going to be trying to block Stingux's advances through the technical portion. Oh, Frost manages to do it.
Okay, Frostbitten blocking. Stingux here.
Oh!
What happened?
Full 180 out of Frost. 20 meters, 22, 30 meters. Has Stingux locked it in. The tap.
Okay, so we have the winner of this
Woo!
battle.
The block out of Sting. That's why it's so dangerous. On the straightaways, Sting blocking Frost, it's like, it's fine. You know, he just positions his bumper in front of Frost and he blocks him. But on the turns, if you try to play that defensive blocking game, the driver can't just push you straight out of the way, especially on a grass like that. And that is exactly what just happened. Now, we do have some other intense situations unfolding. So if you do want to go ahead and cover maybe a Top versus Maddie once more, we can check out some of that. Maybe V versus Nick is another option as well. But I'm going to keep it locked. Yeah.
Let's see if there's Nick Earn. We has 50 meters advantage over Nickern, so it's nothing special.
Yeah.
But Topke versus Mati.
This has been happening. Spicy.
Yes. It's still happening. Two add-ons.
A little bit chill for the time being, but Top and Maddie have been absolutely fighting fire with fire here. The two of them gridlock. Not unlike Stingox versus Frost here. Just a bit of a different nuance to it. There's layers to it. Levels to it.
And now we have 3 players with best lap over 51. Now Kiki joined.
And look at that. Frostbitten is officially at the 50.841. So not only getting the sub 51, yes, but the sub 50.9. That is crazy. And he is sitting here in 3rd place. Again, just the consistency battle. Getting crowded out by Sting. Heartbreaker there. But we have to keep in mind, they're only about 20 meters between the two. But we only have about 5 laps left. That doesn't mean that one of these players isn't going to make some kind of significant error on their own. It is still very possible as fatigue builds up. The race fatigue is very real, especially if you feel like you're under pressure and you're trying to take those world record pace turns. One wrong move is all it takes.
That's faster than best quality time. Yeah. Really interesting fact from Frostbitten. Good laps. Him.
I'm gonna go ahead and check out Top here for a moment. Top is trying to hunt down Anakin. We'll definitely stay locked in on this. They are about a lap or 2 behind, so we'll have the ability to check back in on this once the race ends. But you can see this battle for 10th place. You know, always a milestone to get that 10th. Versus 11th. It's kind of like 5'11 versus 6'0. But regardless, we've got Frost versus Sting. Continuing on, Frost not really able to close the gap yet. Again, using the top speed areas to his advantage until he gets close to Sting's bumper. This is very beneficial way for Frost to cut down on the distance. The issue is how is he able to get around once he does that, once he abuses those top speed areas. Ooh, Frost scared me there. Sting wrecks!
Oh no.
I have no idea where he just wrecked. Out of nowhere, he's trying to get back in it, but Frost usurping that 2nd place for the time being. He continues to block it out. Lap 66, danger ahead. Sting is going to try to recreate what happened earlier. He's going to try to bump Frost out of the way, but Frost is doing such an insane job of blocking until he gets to the U-turn. Can he hold on? No! Sting trying to take it. Oh, man, Frost takes it. He holds on to it, and we've got Frost moving into 2nd place with almost no time left.
3 laps left. Lap 67 or 69. This is really important. Every move is really important here.
Absolutely.
The G-Force on the 1st place. Let's see
what
he's doing.
This is huge for G-Force.
G-Force is chilling here. He knows he has the 1st place of the endurance.
Yep. Yeah, I mean this is insane for G-Force. what a moment for G-Force, because he has been kind of quiet in tournaments lately. It is just the way it goes. You know, sometimes you have more time to practice than others. But right now, G-Force is showing up. What a start to RVSEC 2. What a start for G-Force here. Can he get another podium in RVSEC Season 2 overall? Remains to be seen. But for Week 1, White Rose Chapel, he's just about locked it down. It's going to take some kind of miraculous act for first place to be stolen away from G-Force. But you know what isn't locked down? This second and third still continues to be less than 10 meters between the two with about a lap left. Very important part of our track coming up. We'll see how they handle it. Frost, scaring me a bit. Look at Sting. Look at him whip through it. Almost able to completely make contact with his bumper just through that area after being so far back. Now Frost will continue to pick up the pace, add a little speed through here, add a little bit of a gap as we begin lap 69 of 69. Coming up on it into the chapel. Frost is wrecked twice here. Got to be careful. Managing to slide by this time around. Frost outside, Sting inside. Goes ahead and goes through. 10 meters between the two. Into the technical area. One turn into the other. Through the grass. U-turn around. Frostbitten just needs to not make a mistake, and I think he's got this locked down. One more U-turn into the grass for the turn. Sting needs perfection through this area, whipping it through, bumping Frost, but not able to quite catch him during the U-turn itself. He's going to continue to get closer and closer as G-Force wraps it up in first place. Frost versus Sting. Sting not able to find the gap. Frost will lock in second place. Incredibly done by Frostbitten, locking it down. We continue on. As we look at our other racers, though, this was really the main race. We do have a little bit of chaos here on the back line as Ganesh wrecks out. Maddie going to be trying to pass him up for 12th place here. Maddie does wreck on the side of the wall, though. What an incredible battle between our two drivers here today. We see it took 60 minutes on the dot for these drivers. Full hour of racing, and unfortunately to let it go at that final stage. What a heartbreaker there. But the truth stands, neither one of them were coming even an inch within G-Force's first place. They're not even a foot, rather, I should say. Quite a ways away there, as he didn't quite grasp 100 meters advantage on second, but he was pretty damn close. And G-Force walks away 25 points in his pocket. What a way to start off RVSEC, trying to rewrite history here. Third place for Season 1, trying to find first for Season 2. Ganesh going to be locking it in here over Maddie for 12th and 13th. And that is going to conclude.
Everyone is here.
Yes, yes, they are. And with that, we had 3 drivers under the 60-minute mark. All the rest of them with 60 minutes or more. What a race it was. G-Force, Frostbitten, and Sting. I believe it was Frostbitten holding second place. If we're looking at RVSEC Season 1 overall finishers, it was G-Force moving from third to first, Frost staying second, and Sting moving first to third. So quite the upheaval there here in White Rose Chapel. Now don't go anywhere, because we are going to set up driver of the day. We're going to be getting a victor for that, and we're also going to be showing you all the infographic as far as the scores after the first week. So please hang tight, y'all. You're gonna get a chance to vote for who you thought was the driver of the day. Give me just one moment to set that up, to type in the drivers' names, and we will go right into it.
So yes, as we expected, our top 3 podium is the same as from the first season.
What? Yeah, what a moment that was. The running it back 2 years ago. The last time the RV SEC took place was in February 2024, and our 3 podium overall finishers are the top 3 drivers for RV SEC Season 2 Race 1. What a moment here, proving that, it's all in the practice, it's all in the hours spent, and as G-Force showed, it's all in the consistency. He was the last driver to go below a 51 out of the 3, but it didn't matter because he was able to get those lines every single time with minimal. I think he had like 1 wreck, and that was really it. All right, so as I said, I placed the straw poll in the chat. Go ahead and vote for who you thought driver of the day was. Chatters can vote, viewers can vote, even if you didn't chat. If you just viewed and you didn't chat, you didn't do anything, you just watched it on your TV, go ahead, click that link and vote for who you thought driver of the day was. Let's see it. We're going to unveil it as well as show you all an infographic with the overall times. Mickey, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you joining me, by the way. Great to have you.
Thank you very much.
And with that, we are going to be getting the final infographic here. Nick has done it stunningly quickly, and we are going to be uploading it for y'all right now, so don't go anywhere.
I'm wondering if Frostbitten and Stingox who to vote.
Yeah. I could see any of the top 3 getting votes, for each for their own reason.
I thought it was so good, and it was so, so close and so good to watch.
Yeah.
And I can't decide between these 2.
It's tough. It's tough, and as we look at the infographic, you can see that the consistency was there for G-Force getting almost 98%. He was 0.20% more consistent than our next highest, which is actually Stingox. Stingox getting about 0.15 higher percent accuracy than Frostbitten, but Frostbitten getting the best lap in our race. And just overall really making a statement. You can see he actually got 18 points as a result. Unfortunately, I told y'all that it was the MotoGP point scoring system. It looks like it was a modified version. We have 20 points for first, 17 for second, and 15 for third. But I'm assuming you get an extra point for getting or actually, I might be wrong on that. Let me know what that is. I'm pretty sure I was right, and I just started to doubt myself there for a second. But I think it is that Frost got plus 1 point for the best lap. Otherwise, he would have been at 17 points. We have G-Force first with 20. Frostbitten with 17 plus 1 for the best lap, getting himself 18. And Stingox in third with 15. But, of course, we see, Makakowski's still getting 13 points for himself. Laggy Rock, 12. Kiki, 11. And V, 10. He was the last one able to get the double digits. We unfortunately see the player that you were covering quite intensively, Mickey, was Nick. He, unfortunately, is there in 8th place. But he was flying quite high earlier on in the race. I believe he got up to 4th place.
Yes.
But it was Makakowski, our beloved orangutan, finishing up in 4th place here, beating out Laggy Rock. And, of course, Makakowski is always a fearsome opponent. I would not be surprised if he was able to get a couple podiums along the way, maybe even a couple first places. Who knows? You never know what Makakowski is going to be able to do. Maybe even lock in the first place overall and really switch the game up here. Going to be the top contender of our kind of our old guard here, our 2024 RVSEC Season 1 top 3. which, as we've been saying, got the podium again here today. Really incredible. Laggy Rock, Kiki, two gruesome
Kiki pressure
opponents.
kicked in. Yeah, I know the pressure here on the endurance. It's awful.
And we've also got V. I mean, V in the 7th place. Like, he always deserves a shout out. V for Vendetta, really, really making his mark in the scene. Able to show, he's not only performing incredibly well in events like Quick Draw, but also able to do the endurances no problem. 7th place is really, really, really nothing to scoff at when you're looking at pretty much the best drivers in Revolt here showing up for this tournament. Of course, sad to have Famous in the chat and not in the race, but that is the way things go, and it's amazing that the drivers, they take breaks, they all need time for themselves here and there, but they always come back to Revolt and have their moment here. GeForce having his moment here tonight. Okay, so that does mostly conclude us here for this evening. Of course, I will show the driver of the day as well. It's great. It's been great to have Evie in the house. Been chatting along. We had Axel as well. Massive shout out to Axel. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate the comment as well. And we had Basement Sacrifice. I don't know if that's a DBD reference, but it was great to have you in here as well. Rainbow Shadows, Igashi, Cutlay as well, Nick GZ, Final Boss 444, Skandar, of course, as well, Breathless Statue. Anyways, great to have you all in here, as well as the familiar faces. Of course, you know who you are. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and check out our results for Driver of the Day. Now, I am going to go ahead and figure out a way that I can make a little browser source. So it is going to take me just one moment to show you all this. But hang tight with me for just a second as I get it pulled up for y'all.
Yes, the EV, this championships is 6 weeks of endurance races between Avion and Zipper. The US player can choose between those two cars.
And
it's all endurances.
Yes, it is going to be just endurances here. Semi-pros, Adion and Zipper for 6 weeks. But we do all different kinds of events. Endurances are a mainstay at Revolt United, but we kind of do anything. We can end the predictions as well. Thank you very much, Top. As far as driver of the day, it was pretty unanimous that GeForce was the driver of the day with 6 points. Incredible, getting over half the vote out of everyone. That's who I would have voted for as well. Of course, he did come in first place, yes, but he just had such an incredible showing for the man. It was really, really well done. And I find it no surprise that he won driver of the day. We do have Top and Frost able to get 2 points amongst themselves as well. Some people may be surprised to see Top getting those 2 points. But because he wasn't in, for example, the top 3 podium battle, but he was duking it out with Maddie the entire time, with Ganesh as well. And, he made his mark. So congratulations to Top for getting those 2 points. Frost getting 2 points as well as Kiki locking in 1 as well. Now, I am going to go ahead and close our predictions. As we had, did we have anyone putting... Unfortunately, we did not have anyone putting points onto GeForce. And when that happens, I am a very gracious host, and I do return the points back to the bettors. Don't worry, we will not be unleashing these 17,000 points into the void. I will go ahead and return them to y'all. If someone had just put 5 points onto GeForce, you would be a quadrillionaire right now. But as Famous says, void them! No, come on. I'm not going to void them. You'll get your points back. Let this be a lesson for the drivers. Sometimes you have to go against the grain in order to get your payout. Top saying, I'm the only one who voted Frost. He put over 15,000 points. Am I seeing that right? Let it be a lesson not to gamble. That's quite funny. We got Lagrock saying, no, Honk. I'm sorry, y'all. No, I do return the points. Oh, Frost not Sting. My bad. My bad. Yeah. Frost was a great bet, by the way. It was a great bet, but it is going to be GeForce winning today. So we are going to wrap it up here. What an amazing week back into the RV SEC, into competitive Revo in general. Massive shout out to Frostbitten for organizing the event. Just kidding. Just kidding. Massive shout out to Nick for all of the work that he has put in to RVSEC Season 2. Thank you so much for that. We've got Sting in the house. Much love to GG. A very intense battle between our three podium drivers. Massive shout out to GeForce, Frost, and Sting as well. We do have Evie asking what track is next, and that's actually a great question.
It's Office One.
Office One. That is so funny.
We still don't have it in any of the packs.
Okay. Actually,
you have to download it.
When Nick said Office One, I thought there was some kind of Counter-Strike joke that I wasn't understanding. I legitimately...
No, it's the new track made by the same creator of... what's called? I don't remember.
Hospital?
This track when it's raining. And...
Maybe we can have somebody in the chat with the trivia. Stingox, thank you for the stream. Yeah, thank you for driving, Sting. It was amazing to be able to watch you. You were on the spotlight for the majority of the stream. So enjoy watching back the VOD. Shout out to Nick, of course. Office One, a curveball. I love to have a curveball here. We'll see how well prepared our drivers are. They've got a week. It's going to be meeting back, same time, same place, I believe. 20 UTC next Saturday on the 10th of January, 2015 UTC. We are going to have Office One, a track that maybe a lot of the viewers won't have even seen before. So maybe we'll need to get kind of a test run in, maybe show you all a video before we start, if we get it together. But for now, I am going to go ahead and head out. It's been a pleasure. Be back here.
Just to add, the same creator of StatVault. He's the creator of Office One.
Well, I am a massive fan of StatVault, so I've got high hopes for Office One here. Now, before we head out, Mickey, is there anything that you would like to say to the chat, etc.?
Just thanks for letting me in to comment.
Of course.
Yeah, just it. I'll be there next week.
Excellent. It would be great to have you back next week. Thank you for the picture-in-picture as well as joining me on the mic. It was wonderful to have Mickey here with us. We're going to have him back next week. And that is going to be that. We will see you in a week from now. Don't go anywhere because Revo Simmy's Endurance Championship continues on the 10th of January. Much love, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.